Hey, everyone, and welcome to the Mark Prater podcast, where our aim is to connect our global family of churches with our executive director. Mark, we've talked about this a number of times over the course of this podcast, and guys are aware at this point that the leadership team is very much wanting to help with leadership development in our churches, a very important thing for us to be engaged in raising up the next generation of leaders. And you have a program, a grant for local churches to assist them in raising up new leaders. Can you talk to us about that?
We do. We wanted to find a way to practically help our pastors fulfill that biblical mandate in 2 Timothy 2, where
Right.
Paul writes to Timothy, what you've heard from me, entrust to faithful men so they can teach others, essentially is what the verse says.
Right.
And that's a mandate for all of us as pastors to be developing young men who may be future leaders in the church. And some of those may be in pastoral ministry. So one of the things we've done as a leadership team, we actually established this 3 years ago,
Right.
is the summer internship program. And that is a grant program that has a budget of $10,000 that pastors can apply for and get a grant anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000 for a
Mm.
summer internship that you could offer a young man in your church. And this is the 4th year in a row that we're offering that. There's an email that's actually going out today. So by the time guys listen to this podcast, they should see that email by now that has an application that you can fill out if you've got a young man to do a summer internship. And we'd like to have that back by May 31st. But it's just one small way that we as a leadership team can invest into that mandate that you have to develop future men for ministry.
Right. I love it. I mean, just even as we're talking, there's a young man whose face popped into my head, and I'll be pursuing that possibility with him. So it is very helpful. And you said you've been doing it for a number of years now. How's it been going?
It's actually been going well. I mean, we've had a range of guys, whether they're in junior, senior in high school, they're in college, or they graduate from college and may have a job, but they have the flexibility to do an internship. So
Mm.
actually, right now, we have 3 of the PC students in this year's class either received a grant or applied for a grant just 2 years ago. So it's in that sense, the summer internship fund was helpful in bearing fruit in those men's lives.
Mm.
I was just in Austin, Texas over the weekend with John Payne and his church, and we funded an internship last year for a high school student by the name of Reese Prater. By the way, no relationship to me, so no nepotism going on. But a young man that John thinks could be called. And after that internship, he's just seen him grow in his leadership and
Excellent.
maybe a future, PC student. Actually, Covenant Fellowship, Asher Donahue, when he was in high school, I think he was a senior, we offered him an internship. And he's done one for like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years in a row,
Mm.
is about to graduate from college and believes he's called and probably will pursue a seminary degree. So those are just some stories
Yeah.
to tell you that the internship program, the summer internship program is actually bearing some fruit and is actually serving some of our churches.
That's excellent news. Isn't it right that this is not just reserved merely for North American churches as well? There, you were talking to me about one in Zambia, an internship with Wilbrod recently.
That's right. It's not limited to our U.S. churches. Last year, Will Broad applied, has a young man in his church by the name of Fleming that applied for an internship, and we funded that. And in reflection now that Will Broad has went to be with the Lord, we're so glad that we
Yeah.
did. We don't know what role that young man will play in the church and leadership now that Will Broad's gone, but we certainly invested, and Will Broad invested faithfully into him before
Yeah.
he passed and went to be in glory.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, thanks for thoughtfully investing in our churches when it comes to helping with leadership development. And we'll look forward to that email and be thinking about who we might recruit into that internship. So thanks, Mark, for your thoughts. And thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll see you here next week, Lord willing. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching. If you have questions or comments, Mark would love to hear from you. For more videos like this, hit subscribe on YouTube or by email at markkprater.com.